All right. Good morning, traders. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody.
Happiest.
Good to see you guys. It's been a while. Okay, it hasn't. Hold on. Let me find uh where's my chat? There we go. Okay, you should be able to chat with me and each other. You should see my screen. You should hear my voice. Good morning, Bob C. Don, thank you. Good morning, Doug. Morning, Kent. El Jago. Good morning to you, Donna and Renee. Good morning, Mike. Good to see everybody. Give it just one more second. Got a great crew. We had quite the improvement in our posture on Sunday on both me and the both the group slash me and the Oracle. But we said, "Ooh, there's some bad news. It's concerning. It's started off pretty nasty. Did anybody watch it? Futures last night. If you started watching them in the evening, down probably 1 1/3, 1.3%, and it's like, ooh, this is what we were concerned about. How's the market going to respond? Good morning, Art. Good to see you. Caps from Curtis Bay. Good to see you. Good morning, Victor. Morning, Peter. By like bedtime, it was down to like zero point 0.8 or 9. I was like, oh, okay, it's getting better. One of the dogs woke me up in the middle of the night, and I looked around 3 or 4, and it was zero point 0.7. I'm like, okay. And then we got to this morning, and two of the three were down to zero point 0.5. The Dow is still a little worse than that, but there has also been this resilience that the market has shown around this. Here we go. Let's go see. Welcome to the Options Income Kickoff. I am Scott. I'll be your host. Uh, are you guys still hearing me? I just got a weird message that Zoom wasn't responding, but my ticker's going. Everything seems fine on my end. Can you still hear me okay? Yes. Okay. Weird. Yeah, it's like it's not responding. I'm like, it seems fine. Education illustrative purposes only, no recommendations. We're not brokers. We don't give advice. Decisions made from anything you see from us should be at your own risk, yada, yada, yada. Okay. That's the agenda. We know the deal. Let's dive in. And here you can kind of see the last result before the market opened, 0.39. We got all the way to 0.4. Dow was still at 0.7, a little bit stuck. Um, you can see here, Trump gets ready to block. Iran threatens to hit ports. Gas like prices likely to return to climbing as oil surges back above 100. Prices are certainly a concern. Beginning to rise faster than wages. That's a concern. Um, yeah, I mean, that's the long and short of it. Reacting to the news. Um, and then we'll see from here. How bad does the news get? And what happens in the reaction? Let me see if I can reload this now that we're live. So Dow got a little worse. The others a little better. Fair enough. Um, what else? What's on the news front for today? Oh, everything's running a little slow. I need to check my systems here. I think what's going on? Hmm. Okay, give me a second. Test, test. Are you guys still hearing me? Now I feel like I am locked up. Yes. Gabe says, okay, sorry. I just lost something here. Okay. Okay. I think it's my Chrome, it seems. Huh. All right. Well, let's do other things. Let's start here. If you didn't get a chance to come hang out and go through the market posture with us, this is a big jump from here to here. The very favorable jump. Long term trend improved by a quarter point for me. Short term got a half of a point. Same thing is true for both me and the Oracle. Volume improved for the Oracle, but not for me. Oh no, it did. I'm sorry, it improved at a half a point for me. That was the first time we've seen a positive score in a long, long time. And Stephen pointed out the uptrend. So you can see when we threw out, we discounted the stale selling pressure here. We had one pocket. This pocket was mainly a tie. What's really interesting to me as I look back at this, especially as I do it. Good morning uh, to you, Vladimir. Also, Tom. Thank you. As I look at this, what I found interesting you'll notice when we actually hit the lowest low of our consolidation, you'll notice that it didn't have any volume, right? But the very next day, we got a big chunk of volume that vaulted us back above that line, which we've held since. So I think this is an interesting volume pattern, a volume profile, that this last buyer seller capitulation where the sellers tried and then just immediately were reversed on that lower, that average volume, made it easier for it to pop. And so you can see the buyers have done this. That's why we gave a half a point. This gap was significant. Now, as we all know, what the market giveth, the market can certainly taketh away. But for now, that's the improvement. The volume profile scored. You can see the last two above average volume days we've had are buyers. The last above average selling day occurred almost 3 weeks ago now. These are not what we think or feel. This is what we see. This is just empirically true. There hasn't been an above average selling volume day since here. And the last two above average selling days or buying days, the last two above average days were buying days. Sorry, I just couldn't get the impact of that point across. Major market improved for the Oracle, but not for me. That's the downside for me. Like the seeing the money flow just hasn't come yet into the growth areas. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions about the posture. So what does this mean? Well, that means that our posture jumped from a starting to veer into slightly bearish or on the verge, on the edge of this bearish end of neutral, transitioning into slight bearishness, where that's when you really start to think, all right, we may be moving into bear territory if we stay here for a while. Keep in mind, especially if you're new, you can go back. I'll go update it. It hasn't been updated for a little while. But you can go into our group resources. If you go dig around, if you're new, go dig around Circle for a while. Watch the video, the welcome video. There's a bunch of video resources. There's offline resources like trading plans and logs and things you can download. A lot of stuff for you to dive in and chew on. One of them is the historical market posture. So you can actually download this and see all the way back for 3 years. What is the posture? Oh, look at this. You'd be thinking, look at this, 6s and 7s. I wonder what that's like to trade in. You go back and look at the SPY at that time and you'd see, oh yeah, that looks amazing. I would love to have that right now. But you can go back and find times. You could say, what was it like in April of last year? The market got hit pretty good. You can come back in here and say, oh, okay, here's what happened. We got down to a minus 275, stayed there, minus 25, stayed there, and then boom, boom. It took 2 weeks to get to a minus 0.75. 2 weeks to go 1.75 better. And we just did that in 1 week. That's why it's a substantial thing. Look, this is not a hey, let's score our enthusiasm. That's not what we do. In fact, there was one point yesterday where we stopped and said, hey, we just want to make sure this is not representative of what we want, but what we have. What do we see? So I think we're doing that. I think we're achieving that objective. So I'm excited. I mean, I know that, everyone's like, well, the war, I don't know. For me, it feels like the institutions feel something, know something, I mean, look, they're more likely to be cautious than me. And if the market is showing these signs, it makes me think they know something. Maybe I don't. until until it establishes otherwise. Maybe what would that look like? Well, let's go look at the VIX. That's certainly a good spot. I mean, there's a good amount of red, though. Um, our newest alert that came out Friday, I picked up some and had an order pick up the rest. Is here. This is the so if you got the early piece, I know there wasn't a ton of time when that came out, and there was a lot of reluctance. Stephen D, am I right? Stephen D picked up half. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how. Number one, we had a relatively small Friday group. I know that the email only got out with maybe 15, 20 minutes left in the market. So, anyways, maybe it's getting picked up now. Stephen D, other half. Looking for the other half. Okay. Let's back this up a little bit. Oh, I need 6 months. That's what's the problem. And there it is. That's what I'm looking for. ASX. ASX is hitting that now. If you're in ASX, it's getting, I believe that's the rest of the target. If I am not mistaken. Let's see. Trade alerts. Oh, did I not get that posted in here? I think I sent the emails but didn't post it here. I'll have to post it. Son of a gun, you guys. I'm sorry about that. ASX 2625. Oh, we just hit it. I thought I heard something. Oh, no, we didn't hit it. Did we hit 2622? Oh, it's 3 cents away. Mm-hmm. If you're sitting in this waiting for it to hit 2625 and you're like, I'm not going to wait, I'm going to just take it. No, we're at 2613. We already pulled back a minute. Yeah, I would actually be fine with that. Taking it off, it did its job. Or you can wait and see if it just gets the other 3 pennies or 12 cents now. But that's a good one. Full target. Full target. Did we talk about it last week? So yeah, it was my so anytime in Fridays, I do like to what is going on that I can't access my files? Is it showing? Oh, there it is. I'm like, what the hell? Um, on Fridays, I will do an alert and then post it while I'm meeting with everyone. It's just, it is sometimes a little more difficult to remember everything. And I think I didn't post that. So this is what it looks like here. Son of a gun. You should have the text and the email. I just didn't post that. So I will get that. You know what? I'm going to do it right now because I'm fast like that. New alert. Now. Still has plenty of opportunity in it. And a little more confirmation for those of you who were a little bit more hesitant. Okay. Now it's in. Now it's in. Whoops. Just happened. Okay. It's a little higher than the range, but primary target's up around 45. Um, so there's ASX. We took this one back here. Had to sit through a little hiccup, but it never broke support. And then bang, we got what we wanted. Let's go back to Dow. The trade in between was the UPS put. Clearly, we did not get what we wanted on that one. Okay, and here's Dow. You can see it's. I'm kind of cutting this off. I'm saying that was just like an overreaction. This is intact. What just happened? Oh, I switched the chart. So that's what we're looking for there. Okay. Let's go peek in on the SPY and then we'll go through our watch list. What questions? Is that a call? Yes, Linda. Yes, indeed. We did a call. One of the good things about Dow Chemical, one of our you would probably, it's not too late because what you would think about here is possibly a tighter stop where you're like, you know what, I'm actually not going to put I might think about my stop even closer still, 37.60, where I'm only about $2.40 behind this. I still have $5 and change ahead of me. I'm getting 2 to 1. It's a little bit more of a continuation style, but it's still there. Um, yeah, definitely was a and then you can kind of see here. So Linda, let me walk you down. This is where we are now. It's not going to be obviously this price now, um, because the stock's up. So you'd have to adjust a little bit. That's the whole point of these alerts, right? Is if we get in a little earlier, then we get the 3.2. If we wait a little longer, it's a little more confirmation. Maybe it drops to a 2.5 to 1. Maybe I have to pay a little more. Let's see what those are selling for right now. So we said May 15th is the standard May, 42.5 strike. They're now $1.61 by $1.68. So they're higher now. They're up about 40 cents. Yeah, so the trade's up about 30% already from Friday. Yeah, there you go. Great open interest, 18,000 contracts for so anyone who's been looking around and been thinking to themselves, man, I'm having a hard time finding good liquid options with some tight spreads. I feel your pain. I feel your pain. This one is 18,000 contracts, $1.61 by $1.68. So it's much more tenable for getting in and out. Yeah, I got to tell you, I was a little bit like thinking, am I just starting to get impatient and letting the alert? I've been patient with the alerts. I feel like we haven't forced any trades during a time where it's like, should we be putting puts on, and then all of a sudden it reverses, and it's just been a chop. It's been a bit of a chop. It would have been easy to get on the wrong side. I don't want to see, especially if you're a beginner, getting deep into a market that has such potential to chop the other way, especially in a reactionary fashion. Great market to learn from, harder market to trade. We've been talking about the conditions in their deterioration for weeks and weeks, starting back in early February. we're like, hey, it's a good time to dial back your risk, trade less, trade smaller, be more picky, take both sides, et cetera, et cetera. Again, I'm excited by what I'm seeing. We're going to go through our list here in a second. I think we're going to see a number of, ironically, because I believe it was Thursday of last week, Glenn was doing a beginners market foundation session talking about bear flags because that was that's how quick things change around, right? Maybe it was a little earlier than that. Bear flags, which is a continuation pattern to the downside. But when you see a V reversal, like we just had, that V, let me pull the chart up. Let's go back to the SPY. This V, we'll cut it off. What do you have here on this is now a poll. And what would I think might come in this poll? A flag. So when you hear someone say what's a bear flag? What does that mean? Well, now it might not be this big. It's a very steep pull. Sometimes you'll see flags that look like this: boom, 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 pop. That's it. Boom, 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 pop. And then you're thinking, "Ooh, am I going to trade this now?" And it's like you don't have a lot of no volume, Peter, on the pattern or on the microphone. I'm a little panicky with my technology today. That one's could go either way. Are you guys hearing me? Test, test. Okay, yes. Perfect. Okay. No volume, and it may be that he's talking about this, but this no volume would be the buyers are starting to run out of steam. That's okay. That's what we would expect after a big move up. However, what we're not seeing is as it has started to roll over, we haven't seen anything from anyone. It's just sort of a little pause, which that's actually volume tends to diminish in context of a price pattern, right? So when we see something like if it's going up like this and then all of a sudden it moves into like a little thing like this and you're like, ooh, this is a triangle type pattern. Our expectation is that the volume is actually declining into this. That's part of that, like, it's a little bit of uncertainty. I don't think there's uncertainty right now. I think the buyers smashed it. It started back here, but it was enough kickoff that with no opposition. That's the other thing is if you're thinking, man, there's not really that much volume. What does that tell you? It tells you that the buyers are moving it. The buyers are moving it with very little opposition, right? That's the point. Very little opposition. Where's the sellers? We're not seeing them. If it's this great, like we said, the war, the conflict, the market has shown pretty remarkable resilience to it. Even now, it's showing that. And what does that makes me think? Somebody knows something. And I don't know if it's a conspiracy that like what's going to happen is starting to get floated around and people are trading on it. Like I would anyone doubt it? I mean, let's be fair. That's a bipartisan issue. I think we can all latch onto. And if you look at the top 10 from Congress, the top 10 most prolific investors, like, it's 5 and 5. 5 Republicans, 5 Democrats in the top 10. They all do it. They all sit and trade on information flowing through the government. It's ridiculous, right? Like I don't. Um. Anyways, it seems that political information is becoming more valuable than like inside earnings information, but that's neither here nor there. Okay. Okay, let's go back to the VIX and let's go through our whole watch list. Ooh, good point, Stephen D. Stephen D just said, don't forget, I'll pull up City. Don't forget, we did start getting earnings already. I thought I saw Goldman reported. Oh, okay. So here you go. Expectation 16.34 a share. Actual 17.55. They exceeded expectations by a buck 20. That's about 7%. 7%. And what happened? They dropped 4%. Why? Because of the but. We exceeded expectations, but forward looking, we're a little concerned. It's all about the but. And we're going to see more of this. So, Bank of America is in a couple of days, Citigroup is in a couple of days, Morgan Stanley is in a couple of days. So Goldman went first. Good report. Possibly questionable guidance and a not a hugely negative, but definitely a negative reaction. Yeah. So that's that. What we know is earnings season kicks off with financials. With financials. So as financials start to roll out earnings, then the next 2 weeks, you need to be watching for these little icons that are floating out here. If you don't have extra space in your chart, for those of you on Thinkorswim, if you go to settings, time axis, I want at least 7. Usually it's 7 to 10. Sometimes I go even 20 just to see like how far out before I have earnings. So I will be playing with that date. I only have about a week right now, a week and a half, actually 7 days. Okay. Let's go to the VIX and then let's go through the whole watch list. Now the VIX is coming off of a new low. We took out this low, which established itself only for a day. Then we took out this low and we got all the way back to this low. Not all the way back. We got close to it. That's the next level down. So we did get down here, ventured. We broke back down. It could be turning up from here. Anytime you have a big drop like this, which of course accompanies the V, the upside is well poised for another lower high, which would improve our score another quarter of a point. And if it takes out this low, gets a quarter of a point, and new lower low, and if this thing starts to go down, we'll start to raise our posture score. What is this indicative of? Institutional sentiment. When it's above 24, it's pretty heavy fear. When it's between 20 and 24, it's transitionary fear. If we can get back below like 19, then we're back into a more stable environment. I wouldn't say confident. Confidence when we live between like it's bounces around between like 12 and 16. We haven't seen anything like that. We got close to that for a minute back around Christmas. We got close to that. And then escalation came in. That's Right? You can see really this around this area here when this was escalating convincingly is a big piece of why our posture was declining at the time. Now we're looking for deterioration, de-escalation. All right, let's go to the top of the list. What time is it? Alcoa is on my list, but Alcoa also has earnings. So I think we're gonna have to like watch this one through and see if something comes out on the other side. I'm not sure. We'll play it. We'll play it by ear. Apple. I didn't put it on the list, but I don't know. I guess if it pulls back and holds, maybe. Archer Daniels, I think, is setting up potentially. Just made a new high. Pulling back, looking for it to stabilize, turn, see if there's another trade happening there. Delete my lines. Okay. AMAT got to my target early. Now what? Now would love a trade here. Possibly here. Patience. It's resting. It's getting a little bite to eat and then getting ready for another race is the way I see it. So let's be patient, but I'm definitely looking for this. Put in a sell for 26. We got 26.21. There you go. On the open, probably. Yeah, very nice. Very, very nice. And if anyone hasn't closed theirs, it's at 26.21 right now. You could actually get it there now. AMKR, no, we need to pull back. Amazon, pausing. If it pulls back, it's tradable. Any of these that made these, look at this. This is buyers. And if the sellers come do this, boom, that's the transition that we're looking for. When you get a V, we don't think, oh, well, now I need to be more convinced. This one's nice. AXP, no, well, maybe actually. I would say it's not great, but it could be. BAC has earnings. City has earnings. Waiting for a pullback. CF, maybe. Coherent, waiting for a pullback. Cisco, yeah, come on down. Come on down. Beautiful. Give me a day or two. Start to turn around. This guy will come and turn around, and we'll be thinking to ourselves, yeah, now we can move. Now we're heading back up here. Love it. Cisco's coming. I can feel it. You heard it here first. Oh, you heard it here first. What are you trading, you guys? What are you in? What are you willing to trade? How are you feeling? We love Cisco. How are you feeling? Question number one. Follow-up question. Is that how you wanted to feel? Meaning, are you in control? Is the chimp in the cage and you're feeling comfortable with your analysis and what you're waiting for? Nothing yet for trades, feeling optimistic. Good, fair enough. Dow, good. Early start, work. Okay, Ford, now it's a little underwater still for me. GE. Broke its consolidation. Pulling back. Now what? Well, you don't have a lot of time. That's a maybe, I would say. I don't hear anyone. I'm going to pause for a second. I don't hear anyone talking about day trading. And you can see that it's definitely right. We had a pop pop. I would actually say this looks good for a potential day trade. What would I be thinking? I'd be thinking that we busted out of the opening range, even with the opening range getting this nice bullish candle. We broke out of it, got here. Now it's pulling back. I'll be thinking to myself, if this holds and turns, Mike. Mike's only got one on the counter. I get it. Before the before a pattern day trader assignment comes your way. Yeah, I get it. Just day traded AMD. Um, Renee's talking about pattern day traders. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love it. It's funny. Got stopped out. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Now it's reaching the profit. Okay, very nice. Love the idea. Are they Bob C? I'm sometimes I find that I'm out of the loop on things like that. Tell me, when is it proposed and accepted, and now we're just waiting for the exact rule change, or is it like they're discussing what they should be? Um, I'll go look into it, but that's interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, let's we'll come back to this. We still have a few minutes before we wrap up. Let me go back and see. I think that if anything, we're looking for bull flag type patterns this week. We had the buyers came in, and now this is what we're seeing. Um, yeah, okay. Been in discussion for a while. Okay, very cool. Goldman, Home Depot. Oh, look at Home Depot. You're like, what do you mean, Scott? It's just been. This is what I mean. That's the consolidation breakout. If this thing comes back and turns, once again, if you go back and you look at the start of when things start getting good, this is this little this little ditty down here is gonna be very familiar. You're gonna see it over and over. You'll be like, oh yeah, Scott. Yeah, I see the pattern. Which is why I call it the pattern. The pattern. Um HL, IBM, no. Intel. Whew. I would trade Intel if it pulls back. Small caps. Momentum pulling back. That could pull back to a trade. It's an expensive stock. It's a volatile stock. It's been difficult to find good trading instances. LRCX, great move up. Now waiting for a consolidation. Meta flagging maybe. Monster, Morgan, earnings. Oh, Microsoft, maybe. We'd love to see Microsoft participate. I mean, think about the fact that, you know, this is 9% of the NASDAQ. Apple and Microsoft are huge components of both the NASDAQ and the S&P. And what we've seen is in face of this thing just downtrending for 550 to 350. So that's 200 points off of 550. It's almost a 40% decline. Right, let's get a summer Santa rally. We deserve one, I believe. You're right about that. Micron could be a pullback. Any of these, any of these, and if it happens, likely a number of them all at the same time. So you're going to be thinking to yourself, how many and where? How many would I be willing to take? Would I be willing to take only one bullish trade? Would I take two bullish trades? Would I maybe take three bullish trades? Possibly four bullish trades? The list could go on and on. I mean, I don't think you'd get to like 19 bullish trades. Maybe not even that high. I'd say maybe three or four. Um, right? Don't pick up three bull flags in the same sector. They're all going to behave exactly the same. That's the kind of thing we're thinking right now, this week as it starts. The improvement we had immediately puts swing trades back on the table for me, and immediately reduces VIX below 20 is going to significantly, whatever you've been seeing in your day trading, it's going to change dynamically. It's a VIX of 26, 28 versus 23, 24 versus 20. Fundamentally different for the day trades. You're just going to see less meat on the bones in those moves. Maybe you already have to some extent in the last little bit. Netflix needs a pullback. Earnings coming up. I didn't realize Netflix jumped into the earnings fray with Alcoa and financials. Need a pullback. Palantir's in a bad spot. Rocket Lab is flat. Ross Stores still bullish, but kind of nothing there right now. Silver sideways. Sandus overextended. I'll tell you what. Tesla moving up into this region. Now that could still be a pre-earnings put. This thing is just struggling. Headwinds. TSM almost got some earnings as well. UPS turned it around on us. Son of a gun. Vail, no. Viking looks all right. Vodafone looks good. That's flagging. What do the options look like on this thing? I'm gonna go see. They don't look great. They don't look great. I actually don't know that I would trade this. But it is a $15 stock. I traded ASX with stock and it worked out. I might leave this on and trade it stock and let, if anyone decided they wanted to dive into an illiquid option, they could make that on their own. It's like right on the bubble in one area. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna still keep it. Okay. Questions? That's everything? No. WDC. Looking for the pullback. Walmart. Okay, Walmart's actually, I would actually say Walmart's somewhat tradable through here. Make good choices. Make good food choices and make good trading choices. You know what? I'm going to just say make good choices. Yeah, anything I missed? Any questions? So we have an alert that reached its target, ASX. We have one that's just getting started down. UPS closed. I think that's about all we've had recently. It's a little bit lighter in trading. What am I looking for this week? The jump in my posture has me saying I'm not looking to trade against the strength of this move. Watching the downside of this right now is all about setting up the next bullish trade. That's how I'm seeing things. Do you agree? If you're a day trader, be a little bit more cautious right now. There's less in there when the VIX comes down. However, hopefully with the VIX coming down, we're also seeing some of our wider spreads tighten up. So keep an eye for that as well. Yeah, I'm excited. I think we're looking for a good week. I hope that the omen of the market seeming like there's some knowledge in the institutional world that we're not quite aware of yet. I hope that's true. I hope something they're like, yeah, no, it's going to sort of play itself out and this will be where we're at. And I'll be like, great, that sounds great. All right, what's next? I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, same time. And tomorrow afternoon, we have the Q&A sessions. Two of them, beginners first, open session second. Take advantage of those as a coaching resource. Sometimes I think it's easy to settle into it's a uh it's a like lecture resource. You come and listen and learn. Make it a coaching resource. If we see more people being willing to guinea pig themselves a little bit to say, hey, you know what, I'll do a post-mortem. I'll show you a trade I'm thinking about and let the class all talk about it. And then more people start doing that. The question, it could change the dynamic of those so that they have like a more of a interactive, group coaching kind of feel to it. So that's the goal. Yes, you do. Get in there, Mike, and the rest of you too. Thanks, everybody. Let's have a great week. I agree, Kent. Have a great rest of your day. See you tomorrow. As always, happy trading.